The bustling city of Argent 4 was a vibrant crossroads, teeming with species from every corner of the galaxy. Neon signs and a dozen alien scripts flickered over jam-packed streets, and the air buzzed with the sounds of trade, chatter, and the occasional heated argument. Amid the chaos, Connor Hayes wandered aimlessly, his worn duffel bag slung over one shoulder. A human, he was one of the rare ones in this sector of the galaxy, and lately, luck had deserted him. After losing his job on a freer crew and exhausting his savings, Connor was now broke and homeless on a planet where humans were hardly welcome. Scanning the apartment listings projected on a cracked holoscreen, his hopes sank further. Every price was outrageously high, and most ads clearly stated, "No humans allowed." That's when she appeared, a voice, lilting and melodic, cutting through the din. "You look desperate, human." Connor turned. An alien woman leaned casually against a lamp post. Tall and slender, her iridescent blue skin shimmered under the neon glow. Her eyes were a luminous gold, and her features were sharp, yet elegant. She wore a flowing silken outfit that clung like liquid metal, a playful smirk curling her lips. "What if I am?" Connor replied, narrowing his eyes. "In Argent 4, strangers could be dangerous." The alien's smirk widened. "I have a proposition for you," she said, stepping closer. "My name is Lyra. I need someone to cover the rent for my house. In return, I'll make you happy." Connor raised an eyebrow. "Make me happy? That's vague." Lyra tilted her head, her golden eyes sparkling with amusement. "I can cook, clean, and provide excellent company. Perhaps I can show you pleasures humans rarely experience." Connor's face flushed slightly, but he masked it with a skeptical laugh. "And what's the catch?" Her smirk faltered for a fraction of a second. "The rent isn't cheap," she admitted, "but it's far less than you'd pay for a human-approved apartment. I'm not exactly allowed to rent to humans either." Connor frowned. "So we'd both be breaking rules?" "Exactly," Lyra said with a wink. "So, what do you say?" He hesitated, glancing at the unfamiliar city and the looming shadows of his predicament. Options were scarce. "All right," he said finally. "I'll bite." Lyra's house sat on the city's outskirts, nestled in a neighborhood of towering plant-like structures spiraling skyward. Her home resembled a giant luminescent shell, its exterior pulsing faintly like a living organism. Connor's jaw dropped as they neared it. "This is your house?" he asked, awe in his voice. Lyra grinned. "Impressive, isn't it? It's a Corinthian biohome. It grows with its occupants, adapting to their needs." Inside, the house was just as mesmerizing. Softly glowing walls shifted colors with the ambient light. Furniture flowed seamlessly from the floor, curving into elegant shapes. A sweet floral scent filled the air. "Make yourself comfortable," Lyra said, gesturing to a chair that seemed to grow from the floor. "I'll prepare something for us to eat." Connor approached cautiously, half expecting the chair to collapse. But it held firm, molding perfectly to his shape as he sat down. As Connor watched Lyra move gracefully around the kitchen, he felt an unexpected calm despite the bizarre circumstances. There was something oddly comforting about her presence. Over dinner, Connor learned more about his enigmatic host. Lyra was a Corinthian artist who had come to Argent 4 to escape the rigid expectations of her homeworld. She made a modest living selling bioluminescent sculptures, but struggled to cover the rent on her sprawling home. When Connor asked why she didn't downsize, her expression grew wistful. "This house is more than a home," she explained. "It's a part of me." Corinthian biohomes bond to their occupants. "To leave it would be like losing a piece of my soul." Connor nodded, understanding more than he expected. He had spent his life drifting from job to job, never staying in one place long enough to form real connections. The thought of losing something so essential struck a chord. Over the next few weeks, Connor settled into his new life. He paid the rent with the meager savings he had left, while Lyra upheld her end of the bargain. True to her word, she made him happy in ways he hadn't anticipated. She was an exceptional cook, her alien dishes bursting with flavors he had never imagined. She kept the house immaculate, its glowing surfaces always pristine, and her company was intoxicating. Lyra had a way of making Connor feel seen like never before. She was genuinely curious about his life, asking questions that forced him to reflect on his choices. Her laughter was infectious, and her presence filled the home with warmth. Despite the strangeness of their arrangement, Connor found himself looking forward to each day. But it wasn't without challenges. One evening, as they sat on the balcony watching the city lights, Lyra's expression turned serious. "Connor," she said, her voice unusually soft. "I need to tell you something." He turned, brow furrowed. "What is it?" "The landlord," she replied, her golden eyes uneasy. "He's coming for an inspection tomorrow. He doesn't know about you, and if he finds out, we could both be evicted." Connor's stomach sank. "What do we do?" "I'll handle it," she said quickly, "but you'll need to stay out of sight, just for tomorrow." Connor nodded, though tension lingered. The next day, he hid in a concealed alcove Lyra had prepared, listening as she navigated the landlord's questions with practiced ease. The inspection was brief, but the anxiety left Connor shaking. When it was over, Lyra found him pacing in the alcove. "It's done," she said soothingly. "He suspects nothing." Connor ran a hand through his hair. "I don't want to keep hiding." Lyra stepped closer, her expression softening. "No, and I'll find a way to make this work for both of us." Their bond grew stronger over the months. Connor found work at a local repair shop, earning enough to contribute more to their shared expenses. Meanwhile, Lyra's art gained recognition, her sculptures fetching higher prices. Together, they built a life as unconventional as it was fulfilling. One evening, as they shared a quiet dinner, Connor looked across the table at Lyra and realized something he hadn't admitted to himself before. "You've given me more than a home," he said, voice thick with emotion. "You've given me purpose." Lyra reached across the table, her slender fingers brushing his. "And you've given me a reason to hope," she replied, "for a future where we don't have to hide." Their lives weren't perfect, but they had each other. And for now, that was enough. Together, they faced a world that didn't understand them, carving out a space where they could truly belong.